In NASCAR, NHRA, and IndyCar, men have always dominated every angle of motorsports, whether it's races, wins, or championships. Women are now becoming true title contenders, and Ashley Forrest Hood, Christy Wallace, and Danica Patrick are becoming the main stars. Women have slowly been dabbling their toes into racing for a long time, but not letting their presence be known on the racetrack. These three women I mentioned are not just showing up and parading around the track, but they're actually succeeding with winning races and becoming championship title contenders. These women are helping to change the face of motorsports and the future for women drivers. Today I want to describe to you the three most successful women in racing right now. I think I have a pretty good understanding of this topic because I've been in many NASCAR, NHRA, and IndyCar races. I've seen these three women work their way to the top forms in their specific series. Ashley Forrest Hood, Danica Patrick, and Christy Wallace are the three most well-known drivers right now. I'll explain their success on the racetrack, what they've done for women in racing, and what cars they drive. Danica Patrick is the most recognized female driver right now. She races in the IndyCar Racing League full-time and the NASCAR Nationwide Series part-time. The IndyCar Series is basically, an IndyCar is an open-wheel car that is described as having wheels on the outside of the car's main body with one seat and open cockpit, as shown here. An IndyCar is like one of the fastest forms of motorsports as they go well over 200 miles an hour. According to IndyCar.com, it states the 1,525-pound car can generate 5,000 pounds of downforce at 200 miles an hour, enough to allow the car to run upside down if that speed is maintained. So this is one of the fastest forms of motorsport, and it can be dangerous. In this series, Danica races the number 7 car for Andretti Autosport. The second series that Danica races in is the NASCAR Nationwide Series, which is this car. The NASCAR Nationwide Series is the second level of NASCAR behind Sprint Cup racing. It is similar to Sprint Cup racing, except the cars go slower and they have less horsepower. The NASCAR Nationwide Series is called the AAA of NASCAR, as it provides a proving ground for young drivers who want to make it to the big time of Sprint Cup racing, according to NASCAR.com. In this series, she races the number 7 GoDaddy Chevy for JR Motorsports. Danica Patrick is the most successful IndyCar woman driver ever. She's the first woman to ever win a race, and it happened in 2008 in Japan. She's inspiring many people with her wins, including Janet Guthrie, who said, anybody who didn't think she had a chance at winning just hasn't been paying attention. She's been in the hunt for a long time, and I really hope this puts all the naysayers to rest. Danica's other successes include a pole, which is starting first for a race, Rookie of the Year honors, and she even finished a career high 5th in the championship standings. She is the first driver to ever lead the Indy 500, which is the Super Bowl race for IndyCar. She has finished a female record high 3rd in this race last year. Danica Patrick is a role model for women drivers and a marketing machine. She's been in Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition twice, wrote an autobiography, and has been on late-night talk shows with Jimmy Kimmel, David Letterman, and Conan O'Brien. She makes millions of dollars, and she's an inspiration for women drivers that they too can win in a male-dominated sport. Danica is breaking down the walls in racing, but she's determined to be more than just a pretty face who can drive a race car. As she says, my goal is not to be the first woman to do things or be a poster child, but to win, because winning can take care of everything. Danica has inspired others with her IndyCar win, including Sarah Fisher, a fellow IndyCar driver. This is what she says after Danica's win. Today marks a celebration of all of us who have chipped away at the barriers that many women have faced in the fields that are dominated by men. To finally have a female win an open-wheel race is simply a progression of what Janet Guthrie has started. So as you can see, it's a really cool thing that she did. The second most successful driver is Ashley Forrest Hood. She races in the NHRA series, which stands for the National Hot Rod Association. And NHRA races are different than IndyCar and NASCAR because instead of going around on a racetrack, they go down a drag strip for 1,000 feet to see who can go the fastest. In the IndyCar series, she races in the funny car, and the funny car is just right here, and it's basically a carbon fiber body that can open and close, and the driver is placed inside. Funny cars, according to NHRA.net, are supercharged, fuel-injected, nitromethane burning machines that travel at 1,000 feet in 4.6 seconds at over 330 miles per hour. Ashley Forrest Hood has been very successful in the NHRA series. She has 3 career wins, and she's the first woman to ever win a funny car race. Her first race that she won was in 2008 against her father, John Forrest, who is arguably one of the best funny car drivers ever. She is the first woman to ever lead the point standings and finish in the top 10 and qualify for the countdown playoffs. She is even the first woman to win at the Indianapolis, which is the NHRA's greatest race, and she even finished a record female high second in the point standings. Ashley has made her presence known in the funny car series of the NHRA. According to LA Times, with her good looks, a gutsy reputation on the racetrack, and a racing legend father, she is the new face of drag racing. Young girls who want to race look up to her, and she's a good role model for women in general. But she doesn't see herself any differently as the other drivers, as she says, "I really think the whole gender thing is kind of old news. I was born a female, but I have no control over that. All I want to do is improve and be more competitive just like any other drivers." But as you can see, she doesn't see herself any differently, and she's making a huge impact for women in racing. The third most successful and well-known driver is Chrissy Wallace. She's the daughter of Mike Wallace, and she has two, and Rusty Wallace, and he is like a two-time champion, has 55 career wins. She races in the Truck Series, which is the third level of NASCAR, behind Sprint Cup and Nationwide Series, and it's pretty much like one of the toughest series in NASCAR. In 2009, her and her father became the first father and daughter to start a NASCAR race, and according to SceneDaily.com, she has 40 Legends car wins, and she has 10 wins in additional lower series. She is one of the only females in NASCAR right now, and she has been in Sports Illustrated and been on the Bonnie Hunt Show. She's not as successful as the rest of the drivers, but she's still young and has many years to prove just what she is capable of doing on the racetrack. Okay, Danica Patrick, Ashley Hood Forrest, and Chrissy Wallace are the three most well-known women in motorsports. They are quickly becoming household names, and they are paving the way for future drivers. The future of women drivers is finally starting to thrive, and Danica Patrick, over there, she is the most successful right now. She has the looks, the driving skills, and the sponsorship. NASCAR's most followed motorsport in the United States, and the highest finish for a woman in NASCAR right now is 6th place by Janet Guthrie in 1977. So Danica right now has the best shot to break down the last door and win a NASCAR race, which is something that has yet to be accomplished. I think these women prove that people can do anything they want as long as they put their mind to it, and something as little as gender should not be a setback.
All right, Kimberly, on all of this structural stuff, you're fine. You've got good content. It's easy to follow. You cite your material. You've got a good preview. Your attention device is fine. The conclusion is good. So all the content issues on the speech, I don't have any problems with. On the presentation factors, there are a couple of things that you want to watch for. Let me start with the paralinguistics. You sound like you're rushing a bit, and you kind of have this tendency to zip through sentences and then get to the next sentence and zip through that. So you need to kind of regulate the rate at which you are speaking and have a little bit more variety in the rhythm of the presentation. Other than that, on the paralinguistics, I think you project well. You've got pretty good variety. You indicate, quoted material effectively with a little bit of change up in the tone of your voice, so I thought that was fine. On the visual factors, you've got some good gestures. There are natural indicators. Maybe they're a little overdone in a couple of places, so I think there's some anxiety things coming out there. Your facial expressions, I think you're involved in animated, although sometimes the smile on your face does seem a little frozen at times, like I'm going to get through this kind of thing. And yeah, so you're freaking out about that. The eye contact is a little problematic. You kind of scan the audience, but you basically are talking to that side and that side most of the time. And once in a while, it's like a searchlight. It goes across the room. But most of the time, you're kind of focused over here or over here. And I never get the feeling that you're actually engaging the audience. You're just in front of the audience. When you watch yourself, you're going to notice the one thing that's the most problematic, your body movement. You are just rhythmically shifting your weight constantly through the whole speech. It's off on one foot and down and back and forth and back and forth, and you look, that's where all of your anxiety is coming out. So that's something that you're going to want to control in the future. One of the ways to do that might be to plan some of your movements a little bit more carefully, like we were talking about. I hate that phrase, walking the transitions, but if you felt like I'm not going to be locked into this one spot, then maybe that would get some of your energy out, and if you move around a little bit, you're less likely to feel like you constantly have to be shifting your weight. That's the one thing that I think is noticeable about the presentation that you really need to fix. All right, thank you, sugar.